COMMCast. I'm your host, Jacob Holloway. COMMCast is a production of the Longwood University Communication Studies Department and COM 434, CommLab. It's a show where we get to know members of the Longwood and Farmville communities. On today's show, let's get to know Maria Riascos. Maria, our first question is, what is your major here at Longwood and what's your favorite part about it?
So coming to Longwood, I was going to do nursing, but I scratched that. So my major is now psychology, and my minor is art. My favorite part is just doing it.
All right, and then what is the difference between a 4-year degree and then an 8-year degree in psychology?
4 year you get your bachelor's degree, 8 year you get your master's, or you could also go for your PhD, but I'm going for my master's.
Okay, and then how do you plan on using your art major or your psychology major with your art, and how do you plan on combining those two things for your career?
I plan on doing art therapy.
Okay, and can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've decided to do art therapy, just combine people's emotions with art, just to put their emotions on like so they could see it on the outskirts.
And then in your opinion, how do you think creating art, I guess, affects people's emotions?
Just like I explained, just so they can see, is their understanding of their experience and their reality.
Okay. And then how did you become a counselor at the YMCA?
Okay, so the YMCA, I actually was a PA, a program assistant.
Okay.
So then I did it a second year and I was a counselor, and I was so happy because I'm stepping up, and just the YMCA is kids. This time I worked with 7th and 8th graders.
Okay.
No, not 8th graders, 7 and 8-year-olds.
Oh, okay.
They was a mess.
Yeah.
They was a mess. But it's just so great to see how kids are changing and just the society today, and you get more respect with being a counselor rather than a PA.
And then what motivates you to work with children?
So I'm in psychology, so mental health and everything. I just really want to prevent mental health issues because child trauma. But I actually decided to do every age.
Okay.
I decided about probably a month ago. I don't want to stick with just children because everybody have problems. You may not have a mental issue, but everybody deals with stuff, and I want to help them cope with it well.
That's awesome. And then what is your, I guess, favorite art style, or what kind of art do you usually do?
Art, realism, figures and bodies. But I haven't did figures. I'm doing heads as of now, and it takes practice. So, yeah.
And then why did you pick an art minor instead of an art major?
Art minor, because at the time I actually didn't know that I could do double majors.
Okay.
So I didn't know that was a thing. It was my first time coming to college. Also thought I couldn't handle the work. It's a lot dealing with stuff. But I do wish I really did do an art major.
Gotcha. You wish you double majored in psychology and art. I gotcha.
Yeah.
And then what kind of art, I guess, what inspires you to keep on creating art for other people?
For other people, so they could just express themselves. Art is not just drawing, it's music, it's dancing. What people do in music, they express themselves. What people do in dance, they express themselves. It's just a broad thing.
And then what projects are you working on right now, and who have you showed that art to? Have you done any, I guess, galleries or presentations on your art or anything like that?
Well, all my art is at my mom's home. So if you want to see my art, you go there. That's my gallery. She got it hanging up everywhere. What I'm working on now, I'm working on my friend drawing as of right now. That's about it, because art takes time, so you got to do one at a one, and it's all you paint, and it takes a while to dry.
Okay, and then what's your mom's opinion on your art?
She loves it.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus. She, when we meet somebody or she introduced me to them, she oh, here's my art. And I'm like, I'm in school and art pieces take a while, so they just keep wanting art and art. So I'm backed up right now.
Gotcha. And then does your brother, I guess, inspire you to want to do art therapy, especially with children?
Yes, he loves it. So sometimes we draw together. And he's just free, he's just himself. So I can see that, and that makes me want. And he asked me to draw, can you draw this? I drawed Mr. Beast for him. I'm like, why you want this?
And then I guess what is like your magnum opus? What's the biggest art piece you've created so far?
The biggest, like as in tall or
Oh,
like?
sure. We could do both. We could do, I guess, like the biggest size dimensions, and then, well, like I guess your biggest, like what's meant the most to you, which art project?
I don't really have one that mean the most to me, but my biggest one was a self-portrait of myself.
Okay.
And that one was like at least showed the length of me. And it took a month. It was for my art minor.
Okay.
I actually really loved doing that because that was my first time working with oil paint. So like, I don't know what I'm doing. And when we did oil paint for the first time, I did so terrible. But it was a self-portrait, and that one was great.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for letting us to get to know you a little bit better, Maria. We are going to move on to a next segment, a new segment in COMMCast, which is Fast Trivia. Which building on Longwood's campus houses art major classes?
That's Bedford.
Bedford is correct. That was quick. Yeah. All right, and then who painted the Mona Lisa?
Shoot, you got me with this one. Is Da Vinci.
Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci, that is right.
Yes.
And then where is the Louvre Museum located?
The Louvre. I don't quite know.
I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It's, I don't want to make it too obvious, I guess, but it's in Europe, if that's, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so the correct answer is Paris, France. And then our final question, who is the chair of the Department of Psychology here at Longwood?
I think it's Butcher or either Blanco.
Did you want to pick a certain one?
Blanco.
Blanco is correct. That's awesome. All righty. Well, thank you to Maria Riascos for joining us today, and thank you to everyone. For Behind the Scenes, I'm your host, Jacob Holloway. Tune in next Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. for another edition of COMMCast.